Hello, hola, como esta, everybody? This is Luke, where I help the Krills play to earn. And I know this video clip is going to be from last week's podcast, but honestly, it was one of the best episodes we've had yet of Splinter Talk. And I know not everybody has 2 hours to go and listen through an entire podcast throughout your day or throughout your week. So I wanted to repost this clip because I think it's a really important discussion. I want you guys to hear it, and I want to hear your thoughts about it too, on how Splinterlands might be shifting from more of that casual play of I'm just going to sit in silver or bronze and rank play and try to farm out rewards with level 1 cards versus leveling up versus being a collector, investor, or card flipper. So I want to hear your thoughts on this and how Splinterlands might be shifting as we move forward, and see if you guys agree with the 4 different viewpoints on the podcast. So enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side. I think there is a reason to buy up SPS though right now, and it is the tournaments, because you need a good chunk to stake.
Oh, well,
and
you should, buy enough to stake to play. Absolutely.
And that's kind of my thinking now. Is before with a new player, I would do guides on like, hey, rent to silver, you can make a good amount. Now I'm like, actually, if I was telling a friend to get in this game who wanted to say, put it in like your $150, Steve, or $200, I would say probably go buy $100 of SPS to stake that so you actually get in these tournaments, and then just go build up a bronze deck in 100. Yeah, you're not going to get great daily rewards, but you're going to be actually able to compete in tournaments, learn how to get good in this game. And there's tournaments where I'm like, well, I just raked, 80 SPS in from this tournament and made away $8. That would have taken me a whole season in gold play to grab that amount, I feel like. Yeah. So that's where I'm saying my mind has shifted to more what you're saying, Steve and Rogue. And Jim, I'm curious for you. Do you kind of agree with that sentiment? Like, if you want to earn in this game, you actually have to get good and competitive? Or do you think there is going to be another casual aspect to you can just kind of earn in ranked play, and they'll kind of rework that with the new reward system?
So it's a bit different for me because I'm not like trying to actively play a whole lot. So me going to do tournaments is just, I'm not really looking to. So for me, what I would do would just be like owning the cards, renting the cards out to people, and just slowly taking in passive income. I want to make it as passive as possible, and then still get to play whenever I do want to play.
Yeah, I think along those lines, that was something else that, like, when you're looking at cards, like anybody that's going to flip into cards, like, I understand that cards, like, especially with what I said, like reward cards could go to half a penny. You're looking at the price and you're like, wow, that's like 5 times down. But like rental market has actually been pretty stable, I would say, like, and very predictable now that we've got the auto bids. Like, end of season produces just about the same CP bids, mid-season does the same CP bids. You can get very consistent, like if you're flipping into cards, leveling up to the point where they get picked up by the rental bots, you can start to get real consistent in that and compound gains. Then your DEC rentals go into more cards, level up, more DEC, more cards, and it's all more predictable than what like the price market of the cards is going to be, or the price of the DEC or the SPS and blah blah blah. It's a lot more consistent on the rental market.
Yeah,
Steve,
I don't really play to earn in Splinterlands. I play to play. I earn because I played to play, and I always played to play, and I always put the money back in because I wanted to have more and more and more. And since it's an NFT game and it got popular, it worked out really well for me. If it wouldn't have been a popular game, I would just have a ton of Splinterlands cards and still probably be playing the game. So I guess you got to decide what type of player you are. If you're looking for like earning the most, I don't think Splinterlands is probably the best option. Because there is a need to win to earn the most. There's a need to stake to get into those tournaments. So there's extra investments to do that. And there's also, it's just, to me, it's a hard thing to do because, to be honest, if you're one of those players who's on the lower end and you're trying to make money out of Splinterlands, you're going to make more money posting about Splinterlands and taking play and like really learning how to post. Because occasionally, if you do a really good one of those posts, they'll vote it up to like $60. And I know you only get half of that, but even half of that is $30. I mean, how long would it take for a bronze account to make $30 playing the game. A while. So, I wouldn't say that you should play to earn in bronze, or anything like, you should, if you need to earn from the game, blog about the game, earn that way, get into Luke's channel, get into my Telegram, share your post, get my vote, hopefully get other people's votes, get Splinterland's vote, and then make some money over there and just cash out the Hive. You'll have to leave like 20 stakes so you can keep posting, but because that's a more that token has been a little bit more consistent. It's easier to make money over there playing at that level. You don't have to play a lot to do a share your battle challenge. You can literally, what's the card? Oh, wait, you don't even have to use the card anymore. You just have to share a battle and uniquely share it. So while they're doing that, I would say that's a better way if you're just looking to earn a little bit of money from the game. If you're going to be here, I hope that you can decide whether you like the game, embrace the game, understand like the thing to do now is to stack SPS or to stack cards. The cards will run out of mint eventually. They will start to get bought up to be staked on land. I definitely see Splinterlands making it at least until one more set gets released. And then from there, we'll have to see if the game took another growth, is able to branch out to more people. We'll have to see. It's not a game for everyone. Not everyone plays Magic. Not everyone plays Pokemon. But can we get enough of those people interested in coming and playing this game? That would be exciting. And can some of the people, who are playing decide, I'll just start investing in my cards. I'll get my cards higher. I'll become a gold player. I'll become, a gold player who sneaks into the diamond at the end of the season. Things like that. Or do you just I don't know. I've never understood the mindset of I'm just going to chill in bronze and play this game, because it's not fun in bronze. You have to play a lot of bots. You have to be really perfect to win. And then there's no cool abilities. Like the cards do drastically different things in the upper leagues.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's where I'm thinking is too. So, you got, I think it's almost two categories, right? You got the investor, collector, card flipper, maybe put them all in that one kind of bucket of players. Then you got those rogues, maybe me now, of let's go out and be competitive, play those tournaments, and that's where we're going to rake in our earnings. But it sounds like what you're saying, Steve, and it sounds like maybe is anyone disagreeing on this, that more of that casual, I'm just going to rent to Silver 3 to try to farm out some chests in DEC. The days of that are declining, and that's where we're seeing a lot of maybe the community pushback or pain points. Do you guys agree with that narrative?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, once we find out what the new reward percentages are, it could still be that, but more so of like Rogue was saying earlier, you're not playing for today, you're playing for the future. Those cards you're getting, in Silver 3, not really putting a whole lot of money into it, can then just go further.
Yeah.
But if if you want to just stay in Silver, not so much because of financial reasons, just so that you want to have your cards as close to the BCX ones as possible, so you're not going to be losing a large percent, then I guess it's also not a bad idea, since I do it myself.
But you do that with a plan to sell those cards, right? You're speculating that they'll be worth more.
Yeah.
So I'd remind that's a different than just staying in Silver. He's staying in Silver because he's planning to 100x single cards when they go up from a penny to $1 to $1.50, and certain ones will go up to, if you just look at the old commons, they'll go up to a few dollars. I mean, it's bigger supply, but hopefully bigger player base. And but I understand that.
I think, Steve, what you've said on previous podcasts, though, is that the game's intention is always for you to level up your cards. Mm-hmm. And honestly, until I've been playing in tournaments this last week, I haven't really felt that. And so you're asking, why are people just staying in bronze, staying in silver? Well, because it felt like, what's my reward for leveling up my summoners? I'm already in silver, or heck, you could get level 4 summoners and do well in gold if you have the power to compete. So it's I guess I go level up my monsters so that I can get 2 more wins a day in ranked play and get 5 more DEC. What's the point? Now I'm finally in tournaments. I'm if I actually had this card, I just had this match loss, And if I would have had that one, that would have bumped me up from 10 SPS in this tournament to 25. Now I'm like, shoot, I'm really motivated to go out and get those level up summoners, get those level up cards. I'm like, finally, I actually have a reason to do so.
Yeah,
and I think
Luke,
if you're not playing tournaments, you don't feel that.
Do you remember that video that you did where you were like, these are some of the things that you should level up? And like you were looking at the cards and you were like, yeah, this one doesn't get an extra attack. It just gets the extra health, right? I had the same mindset where it was like, yeah, you know, like that's budget wise, that's not really worth it, right? But now everything's like super cheap and you throw tournament play into it. That extra health might actually be something that you need.
Right. Because so everyone matters so much, right?
Yeah,
rank
right?
Play, it's like, I lost a match. Who cares? I'm going to jump in another match in 2 minutes.
No,
and
but
that's
we're
why,
absolutely at a point where you need to be playing like max for the thing in the tournament that you're playing, right?
Yeah, and that's what Weirdbeard has done to tournaments. He's made them incredibly better. The requiring the SPS stake made it so that there's much less people in them, but all of the people who are playing them are people who are investing, and it has a certain threshold that makes you have to get into it. And like to me, the reason why I said I didn't understand why people wanted to hang out down there is because that turns Splinterlands into like the same game as like a Alien Worlds or a Rising Star, and while those have an appeal, you know, it's you come and you click, you know, yeah, you maybe click a little more on Splinterlands, but then you walk away. If you're not trying to level up your cards, if you're not trying to reach that next competitive level of the game, you're putting yourself in a place where, to be honest, you're going to be like Jim and not play in bot.
Don't be like Jim. Damn,
That's the style of the podcast.
He's literally here, and we're still like firing.
He said he wanted to fight, right? But no. But you're going to get to a point where you'd rather bot the game because it's not going to be it's not going to be fun anymore, and you're going to rather do something else with your day.
Yeah,
you'd rather play a different game.
You're 100% correct.
So,
yep.
And I got to that point with the 2 of my accounts. I bought 2 of them, so you could throw it back at me. But I play my main. But like, I wasn't going to mess around with my 2 accounts that can only play in gold. I'm like, I don't want to do that all day. I want to play at the top, and I want to get my butt kicked by like the best players in the game. And when I beat them, I want to go, yes, I beat so and so, and it's exciting. And then I get a few more chests, and I tend to pull probably a couple more legendary cards than you do in a season. And that's just the way it is. And it's going to get even more weighted to the top. And honestly, I like games that weight things to the top in the play to earn model, because you need to make people strive to want to get to the top to support the game. Because in general, the way that this will work is we need to have people continue to come in that want these cards and are willing to pay for them. Otherwise, eventually, we're just going to have a bunch of 1-cent cards. And, you have to have a player base that wants to come in. And, the game can do a little bit to do that. They can incentivize it by releasing a new set, doing big tournaments for that set, because that's what they did. I remember we all used to complain because Untamed got all the big tournaments. And you're like, I want to use my alpha and beta cards, but you keep doing Untamed tournaments. And we were all pissed off about that because we didn't want to have to buy the new cards. That's why Untamed took so long to sell out. And now they're doing the Chaos Legion tournaments, and that's where the big money is. And so they'll do that with the next set, right? The tournaments will be just Rebellion. They'll phase out the older cards, and hopefully they'll all retire to be miners on land, so that there is a use case for them that'll help their value. But there's things they can do, but we do need more players, people who want to play, people who want to push for those.
Thank you all for watching this clip. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember that you can view the podcast on any platform, Spotify, Google, Apple, all those things. But again, give me your comments below. I want to hear them, and also join into our Krill Crew Discord, and we'll talk more there. For now, peace out, pa'alam, adios.